Alright, so you guys are. Oops. Let's see. Share my screen. Yeah, I hope you guys are staying warm out there in this crazy ass weather, but let me get started. Alright, so welcome to the first meeting of the Tic-Tac-Toe workshop. My name's Gabriel, and I'll be acting as your project manager uh, for this workshop. Um, this will be meeting every Wednesday here in Discord at 5 p.m. And it says 5 to 6, but I kind of doubt that it'll take like an hour. Um, this one might be a little longer because I have to explain a few things, but yeah. So my idea for this is to have something for you guys to contribute to and be able to show off. Say like at a resume or interview or something like, oh, I worked on this project with these people from school. This is like what we made, and you can be able to say like, oh, I like contribute this and this. But yeah, so my idea is to have this be like a supplemental kind of thing to put things that you guys are probably learning in like maybe intro classes. Like I know they teach Java for sure. That's kind of like an intro language, and this is gonna be something to kind of like practice that or like see how that applies to like an actual project. So um, so for the meetings, I have well, we're gonna probably split them up into like two different pieces. The first part will be kind of like informational, just kind of like supplementary, learning about like Java and um, simple programming concepts, things like if object-oriented programming, things like objects and stuff that is just kind of foundational for like whatever language you're using, like control flow and other things like that. Similar, it'll probably be similar to this, where it'll just be like a slides. I'll just be explaining things. Um, First thing I want to ask is where people are, their experience with programming so far. If you guys are like freshman, sophomore, whatever year you guys are, if you want to let me know, and I can also work around the meetings that way to see if like people need more like explanation on certain things, or if I should just run right through it. So if you guys want to jump that anywhere, maybe like general or something, just so I can get an idea of like how to structure the future meetings. But besides that, I'll also go over how that kind of applies to the real world. So things like how people will how in actual jobs people use collaboration tools, things like GitHub or Kanban to collaborate on in a team setting, um, and also teach about like developmental cycles and things that I kind of didn't have any really idea about. I know from going through the first few classes. By the way, I'm a fourth year at Cal Poly CS major, um, and I feel like I could have used something like this to like kind of get an idea of like how all this kind of comes together. So that's why I want to do this. Yeah, just things like how to work in a team setting or like what kind of different roles there are besides just straight up coding, like all the other things that go along with that. But the other part of the structure, the meetings will be just like showing progress on the main project. So the main one will be um, kind of like what everyone is kind of be contributing to, but you can also follow along, say like by yourself and just use the code or whatever we talk about in here to make your own little spin off or whatever, design it your own way. and just kind of get your own little practice on it. But we'll have one main one that we'll be working on to kind of build it up from the ground up. Yeah, so we'll just do um, we'll use like collaborative stuff to be able to show progress and show each thing as we go along, and in the meetings we'll just go over that. All right, so what's the actual project then? So we're trying to create a tic-tac-toe game. This is going to be pretty simple to actually implement, and so because of that, my idea is to have the project be equally split up between coding and some other projects that I'll explain later. So for this project, you won't actually need much coding experience. Like I think the less, the better. Like the more like you can actually get accustomed to this because it's not too labor intensive. This whole project I am not planning to have be um, very workload heavy because I know like everyone's in school and probably busy with work or whatever stuff. So also I'm trying to like split things up and have everybody contribute little things here and there whenever they want. Um, let's see. So the first milestone idea that we have for the Tic-Tac-Toe game is to be text based, just like coding it in an IDE or command line or something and running it and have it print out the game board as just one big string. And after that, the ultimate goal is to have it to implement it into a full either web app or a mobile app. And that also comes with its own extra parts of it, parts of the project, things like how to actually implement that, like what kind of framework we might use. So this is also a chance for people that are a little bit more experienced in programming or things like that to also be contributing to other things besides just coding. And there's also space for people that are more interested in like design or um, UI UX is basically user experience and user interface. And for this, oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, and then anyone interested in network development can also have a spot in this too, because if we ever get there, we might also have opportunity to implement a multiplayer functionality to the app, and that'll need some extra programming help and a little bit of like research, but I'll explain that in a second. So this is just kind of like the idea for the text-based part of the game. It just will print the game board as a string and it'll interact. Um, you'll interact with it like that, just printing, like updating the board every time. And this is kind of just a general idea of what the app may look like depending on like how we design it. This is all gonna be I'm planning it to be like collaborative, so anyone can have their own ideas, throw it in, and see what we agree on or like what we like, and we'll go with that. So I want to divide up this project as to a few different divisions, just to kind of like reduce the workload and also give people a chance to like work on things that they like the most. So it'll be developers, UI UX designers, quality assurance, and research and development. And the one I forgot to put there is project manager, which is me. So um, what I'll be doing is to I'll handle planning meetings, planning the roadmap for the project, as well as managing the main project branch on GitHub, which is what we're going to be using. So everyone can commit their own things, and it'll. I like GitHub as well because on your profile, if you guys haven't made one yet, it'll show what things you've committed to, and people can look at that and instantly see just from looking at your profile like what kind of things you've done. Um, yeah, so I also want to kind of create this environment of everybody being able to contribute whenever they want and being able to have the resources to do so. So I'll be providing that for you guys as well, and also be working on things with you guys as well, technically and research wise. And in general, like this is really open ended. Um, there's a lot of wiggle room here with kind of ideas and whatever. So I want to hear like as much as feedback as you guys have. for what you guys want to see in either the meetings or the project. So yeah, let me know whenever. All right, so the first division will be developers, and I mean, kind of simply, it'll be designing and writing code. You'll be working with the UI UX people, the designers, to actually implement kind of what designs we come up with, and this is kind of mainly for uh, people maybe a little bit less experience just developing, because this is mainly going to be like, this part is mostly going to be just like getting practice with it and having different people come up with different kind of ideas of how to implement certain things, and we'll come together and decide on which one we'll go with, which one's the fastest, or which one kind of looks the cleanest or whatever. But yeah, and then you also work with the QA, which I'll explain later, to uh, work on performance, kind of a similar thing. And then UI UX will be anyone that's interested in design, um, to basically just make it look pretty. Um, UI UX kind of deals with what the user sees and kind of what happens when the user does certain things, as well as kind of making sure that things come up on the screen or things happen in the background, um, doing certain actions using the app. This is also going to be kind of more needed a little bit later down the line once you get to the app part. But yeah, so UI UX is also, um, I mean, you can contribute by like drawing something in MS Paint or like Photoshop or something, and just dropping it in as a design outline of something that you have an idea for what it to look like. And we want it to be for anyone to pick it up and understand how it works quickly, because that's kind of like the main crux of UI UX, is being able to be accessible to everyone. And imagine designing this as if you're making this for your grandma, and you have to make sure that even she can figure out how to use it. Quality assurance is probably meant for people with a little bit more experience with programming. Like, I kind of see um, certain things in the code and correcting issues before they become issues. And we'll also be dealing with testing and bug fixing at certain points, just making sure things work well. There isn't conflicts with people's codes or whatever, and just make sure everything runs smoothly and is reliable, and um, just performance wise, reliability wise, make sure everything's going good. And the final one is research and development. This is also going to be a little bit later, more useful later down the line, because of it's kind of more um, going to be implemented with the app. So um, anyone that's interested in research and development will be trying to determine which way we should go in the project. Say, like, looking up like what kind of frameworks or what platform we'll use to actually put this into production, and as well as just kind of like figuring out kind of where we are in the project and what kind of things we'll need for the future. Mhm. So the first thing I'll say is, I mean, I want this project to be at any point anyone can throw in anything, like code or designs, whatever things you found in research. In the Discord, I have a in the under information, there's a roles channel, and you can drop the whatever you guys are interested in, and that will kind of help you guys to see who kind of you can talk to about, like, hey, how do I write this code, or like, do you have any ideas on designing whatever, and you can drop those in all the designated um, channels to kind of like work on the same thing. And at the meetings, we'll come together and figure out what we're gonna do. Um, And yeah, I mean, this is gonna be like a pretty simple project coding wise. I kind of want this to be more based on like how you would run a pro or how would you work in a team of people working on the same project contributing to the same thing. And with that, I know that people are probably gonna be busy with school or work or whatever, so just feel free to just whenever you guys have a chance to just drop in and um, drop in whatever you guys have found so far. But what else do we have? I'll also be working on just kind of everything with people. Like if there's any concerns or whatever, um, DM me or just message me or put in the general or something, and I'll. This is all gonna be everybody working on the same thing, so I want to be there for kind of all parts of it, and we'll be just there to help out with everything. But besides that, is there any questions, anything that you guys are wondering about, concerned about? This is all really um, subject to change because I have kind of just like a main basic idea of the meetings, especially. But yeah, is there anything you guys are wondering about or want to see? You know, drop in either voice or chat channel. That would be fine. All right. Well, besides that, just let me know somewhere in one of the text channels, kind of where everybody's at with Java and kind of what um, either what classes you've gone through, what you are, if you're even in CS, which is also not even a requirement for this. Um, but yeah, besides that, you guys are good. Just gonna be a this is just gonna explain kind of the main idea of what this is gonna be, and by next week I'll start kind of introducing certain concepts, and we'll start working on the project about right about then. So says that that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you guys next week at 5 p.m.